ndio kazi iweze kusonga.
Asante sana. Our first topic for tonight is on the state of the economy, the cost of living, and of course Kenya Kwanza's first budget. My colleague Ayub will take the first question.
Excellency, Mr. President, I want to take you back to what you said on the 26th of July, 2022, during the presidential debate.
Yes.
Before the elections. To quote you said, we can limit the taxation on fuel. Take, for example, VAT, which you said, I think we need to rethink about it. That was the UDA presidential candidate. President William Ruto, months later, is proposing to Parliament to raise it to 16%. Why the double speak, Mr. President?
Thank you very much. Let me start this way. And allow me to give you a bit of context. When I came into office, I did 3 things the first day in my office that I had committed to the people of Kenya. Number 1, I made sure that port operations that were unnecessarily moved from Mombasa were returned. Number 2, I made sure that our police have financial independence. Number 3, I appointed the judges that were supposed to have been appointed, and I committed that I will expand the budget of the judiciary. If you look at the budget this year, we have added an extra 4 billion shillings to the judiciary. When I came into office, I found a huge crisis of fuel. In fact, before even I came here, immediately the results were announced. Amongst the first people to come and see me were oil marketers. And they told me, we are in a crisis, we are going to have a stock out because we cannot have fuel. Government has told us to sell fuel subsidized, but they haven't paid us. The government owes us 65 billion. So that whole subsidy story you hear, it was just a pledge. So I found that we had a 65 billion shilling subsidy to pay. Meanwhile, our financial situation was very bad. And by the way, that subsidy was accumulating at 15 billion shillings every month. I don't know whether you appreciate the magnitude of that. So when I came into office, I looked at it, and the one thing that I did that in retrospect was the right thing is to have an economic team around me. So we sat down, we went through the numbers, and finally we discovered that there wasn't actually a fuel problem. It was a misdiagnosis. The problem was an economic and much more a dollar problem, because there was fuel that had come, but the oil marketers could not find the dollars to go and buy, because government was maintaining an artificial, rate. So there were 2 parallel rates. There was dollar by government, which said was 120, and there was another, if you really wanted to buy the dollars, you had to go and get it at 128, thereabout. So what did we do? First, we reinstated, because it was not a fuel issue, we reinstated the interbank forex market. What did that do? The spread that was between 12 and 15% has now shrunk to between 2 and 3 shillings, or difference. That is point number 1. Number 2, we went and negotiated for credit on all our petroleum products. So we've negotiated 6 months to ease the pressure on the dollar. In fact, many importers were finding it difficult to get dollars to import raw materials. We have since sorted out that problem. The liquidity around the dollar market has improved.
Okay.
We've allowed the dollar to find its own level. We are not artificially managing the exchange rate, because managing it artificially costs us money. So we have an issue there. So when I came into office also, I found that we had commitments of 900 billion Kenya shillings on the roads. Yeah, 900 billion. I have tried to work with the various departments, Kera, Kura, Kenha, to try and understand how do we manage this 900 billion. We've tried to cut it down. We've tried to stop some of the roads that have not started. We've died. But we still remain with close to about 680 billion that we have to manage. If I have to complete these roads, I need extra money to do it. And every place I go, I was yesterday in Nyandarua. Communities, people, leaders tell us, we need a road here, Mr. President, we need a road here. Mm-hmm. We need to finish the Mau Mau roads. You need to finish this. You need to do this. We need an extra road. They were even telling me there's a road called Kinamba to some place. So that whole equation changed. But what have I done? I have said, yes, we're going to increase the VAT by 8% for two reasons. Mm-hmm. Number one, because having differential rates, one at 8%, others at 16%, poses a problem, an integrity problem. People use it as a loophole to manipulate numbers, VAT in, VAT out. So the advice that my economic team working with Treasury gave was we must eliminate this loophole that people are exploiting, number one. Number two, this 8% that we are adding is going to give us about 50 billion shillings. Mm-hmm. It will begin to deal with the problem of roads across the country.
Okay.
But what have I done to balance it out? Because I made a commitment that we need to relook, right? I have removed on the same fuel, as we add 8%, I have removed road 3.5% road development levy from fuel. I have removed 2% of IDF on the same fuel. And to balance it out, because it is the same Kenyan who is going to pay from their pocket, I have removed VAT 8% on gas. And I have removed other taxes that I'm going to explain to you. About 14 other taxes that I have removed to try and even so that we have a balanced budget.
Okay. We'll talk about the other taxes as proposed.